Today, we will address together a theme of fundamental importance, a topic that does not only concern the present, but that will have profound and lasting repercussions on the future of our society and our community. Before you start, subscribe to our channel and activate the bell. In the silent, impenetrable rooms of the Vatican, where ancient marbles and Renaissance paintings bear witness to centuries of history and faith, Pope Francis continues to lead the Catholic Church in an age of great change and challenges. But despite his constant pastoral work, rumors of a possible and imminent conclave become more and more insistent, almost as if they were a constant shadow hovering over his pontificate. Every small sign of fatigue, every cold or indisposition of the pontiff immediately becomes a reason for speculation, unleashing a cascade of hypotheses and conjectures about his succession. It is as if his every public appearance, his every gesture, was carefully scrutinized and interpreted as a possible clue to what could happen in the near future. But what really lies behind this incessant wave of rumors and speculation? What forces are at work behind the closed doors of the Holy See, where spiritual and temporal power intertwine in a complex and mysterious dance? In reality, what is taking place is much more than a simple power play to determine who will be the next successor to St. Peter. At stake is the future of the Church itself, a future that will be shaped by the decisions and choices made at this critical moment in its 1,000-year history. The succession of Pope Francis, in fact, is not just a passing of the baton from one pontiff to another. It represents a real ideological battle, a conflict between those who want to preserve ancient traditions and those who aspire to a more modern church, inclusive and open to dialogue with the contemporary world. One of the hottest and most controversial issues in this clash between opposing visions is the question of the traditional Latin Mass. This ancient liturgical practice, which for many believers represents a deep and indissoluble bond with the historical roots of the Church, has become a symbol of the battle between past and present, between conservation and innovation. Recent rumors of possible new restrictions on the use of the ancient rite have reignited tensions within the Church, fueling a climate of suspicion, rivalry, and discontent. For many, the Latin Mass is not just a form of worship, but a bastion of continuity with the past, a symbol of a tradition that has spanned the centuries and that, according to some, must be preserved at all costs. Its possible suppression or limitation is seen by many as an attempt to definitively break with tradition, a step that could alienate a significant portion of the clergy and faithful already concerned about the directions taken by the Church in recent years. This tension between tradition and innovation is not new in the history of the Church. It has taken on a new meaning and a new urgency since the Second Vatican Council, an event that marked an epochal turning point in the history of the Church itself. Since then, popes have taken an increasingly active and visible role on the world political scene, embracing causes that transcend strictly religious boundaries. Pope Francis, in particular, has taken this evolution to a new level, adopting clear and decisive positions on issues of global relevance, such as climate change, the reception of migrants, social justice, and the fight against inequality. With his encyclicals and speeches, the pontiff has established himself as one of the most influential and listened to voices, not only within the Church, but also in the international arena, attracting the attention of political leaders, activists, and citizens around the world. But this growing politicization of the papacy is not without its critics. Within the Church and beyond, there are those who question whether this is the role a pope should assume. The Church, according to some, should be first and foremost a spiritual beacon, a moral guide for the faithful, rather than a political actor engaged on all fronts. The question that many are asking, both among the clergy and among the laity, is, what is the true role of the Pope in today's world? Should he be primarily a political leader, capable of influencing global dynamics, or should he remain a spiritual guide, focused on the soul and well-being of the faithful? This dispute, which cuts across all ecclesiastical hierarchies, is destined to significantly influence the choice of the next pontiff, determining the direction that the Church will take in the coming decades. In this intricate context, Cardinal Pietro Parolin, the current Vatican Secretary of State, finds himself in a particularly delicate and strategic position. Considered by many as one of the main papabili, Parolin is called to move with great caution and skill among the different currents and factions that animate the internal life of the Church. His task is not easy. He must be able to maintain a delicate balance between the demands of tradition, dear to a significant part of the clergy and the faithful, and the pressing requests for renewal and modernization that come from as many sectors of the Church. In particular, his handling of the highly sensitive issue of the Latin Mass, which for many represents a decisive test of his capacity for mediation and leadership, could prove decisive for his future and his chances of becoming the next pope. His ability to navigate the pitfalls of this debate will be crucial not only to his personal destiny, but also to the future of the Church. The next conclave, then, promises to be a watershed moment for the Catholic Church. The decisions made in those crucial days will have a profound and lasting impact on the institution and its relationship to the modern world. The battle between tradition and modernity, between the spiritual and the political dimension, will be played out precisely in those decisive moments, determining not only the face and soul of the Church for the coming years, but also its role and influence in the world of the future. At stake is not only the choice of a new pope, but the very definition of the mission and identity of the Church in the 21st century. And you, what do you think about this situation? Write it in the comments below. Thanks for watching this video to the end. See you next time.